So recently I made a part one, and this is part two of playing with my silver friend in a pro scrim. My silver friend wanted to mention that he is now gold three. He wanted y'all to know that. But yeah, quick rank check. I went up about 8 spots from my last video, so now I'm at rank 267. I'm hoping to get top 100 before the end of the season.
I say
Oh,
nothing.
no.
Wait, there's another. There's a Twitch streamer and a Kick streamer.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Kick
god.
streamer. Sneaky blood.
Sneaky Plub, the GOAT. And if you don't know who Sneaky Plub is, he's from one of my previous videos, and I went against him in the final round, and he wasn't too happy with how we played the game.
These guys are annoying. I fucking hate these guys, bro. Got it. Fucking pussiest shit ever. I'm sorry. That is just fucking ridiculous. And they're probably like, oh, we won. Oh, they suck. No, y'all are just playing like bums.
Not only was Sneaky Pleb in this game, we also have a bunch of other people. We have Big Boy Apo, and if you don't know Apo, he's also a YouTuber. I'll have his link in the description below. He posts a lot more often than me, so definitely give him a look. And then obviously the ultra rares, the purple team. We got Lamp is Cute TV, Snake Nade, and Normalized TV. Those guys are great. They got VODs on, so I can actually make this video. But if you haven't watched the first part of this series, then you should probably go look at that if you want some context on what's happening and stuff like that. And then finally, we have the Steamrollers as a red team. Germo TTV, that's the POV I'll be using for their team. For all the Twitch streams I'll be using, I'll also link their Twitch streams in my description. So if you're interested in one person's playstyle or whatever, you can find them pretty easily. One thing that's in common for all of the other teams is that they're running double medium and one heavy, while my team is running double heavy and one medium. Because the scrim rules ban double and triple heavy compositions, it makes sense that the most common team composition for the scrims would be double medium and one heavy. Because usually if you're going against multiple heavies, a light with glitch grenade would be a good counter. But since that's not the case, and since people in the scrim are expecting to go against other people in the scrim, of course they're not going to be expecting a double or triple heavy composition, thus making the light not very useful in those cases. And especially with light being 150 HP, it's still a little bit of a risk to even play a light character within your team composition. So let's look at the specific specializations for each team. While all the scrim teams are running the same build compositions, they're each a little different in terms of their mediums. So let's look at my team first. We're running double goo gun with heal, and ideally you don't want to stack specializations if you're running the same build, because you usually want the benefits of multiple specializations rather than having two of the same specialization. So I think the better build here, if we were playing like super seriously, would be goo gun mesh shield, because then we can have the benefit of using mesh shield to get through places with zipline or something like that, or being able to push up through hallways with mesh shield instead of just having two goo guns, which can't really push as effectively as a mesh shield could. And on the other hand, you don't want to have two mesh shields because you don't have the benefit of goo gun and that defensive capability for cash outs and stuff like that. So yeah, we're running double goo gun because that's just what we're both comfortable with. And then of course healing to keep us sustained. I personally think healing is a very good specialization, probably the best specialization for medium, mainly because healing keeps your team in the fight as long as possible, especially when your team is consisted of mostly heavies, which have a lot of health that can be regenerated. Now let's look at the scrim teams, and just to mention real quick, all of the heavies in this scrim are playing mesh shield. They're very creative for that. No, I'm just kidding. Mesh shield is probably the easiest specialization to use, and it is somewhat like overpowered in a way it can like block most offensive stuff because of how large it is. Let's look at purple team, for example. They're running mesh shield, healing. I personally don't like running healing with mesh shield that much because like sometimes you'll be healing the heavy, but they're just going to be mesh shielding, so no one is doing damage. And especially when you're running two healing, you might have situations where both the mediums are healing if they don't have good enough communication, and then no one is doing damage. So if no one is doing damage, how are you going to win the fight? So yeah, that's my issue with double heals in combination with a mesh shield, of course, but yeah. So let's look at the orange team, and they're running a little different. They're running Mesh Shield, Healing Beam, Recon Senses, and I think this is probably the best setup for what they have. I mean, you have different specializations. Everyone's running a different specialization, so you have the benefits of all of them. Recon Senses can give information to your teammates about where the enemies are. Healing Beam can heal all your teammates. And Mesh Shield can block damage for the recon senses person to do damage, or if the healing can also do damage if they want to. There's a lot of different ways you can combine these specializations to get the most out of all of them without the negatives of having multiple of one. But the main issue is, like, of course, if you rely on the fight going for too long, your healer might die and you might not be able to get healed anymore and stuff like that. If the enemies target your healer, you won't be able to fight long fights. And let's look at the last team, and they're running Mesh Shield, Recon. Now this has to be probably the worst setup, mainly because they have no sustain because they can't heal in a fight, and because you have 2 recon senses, but like, for what reason? If you are communicating good enough, you won't need 2 recon senses to give information. The only benefit I can see of having 2 recon is just like alternating when you recon, so you have more time of recon. Just knowing where the enemy is for longer, just not that great, I feel like. Enough yapping, let's get into the game. What does KR mean? Why do people have that in their name?
Korea.
They're not from Korea though.
But we are from Korea right now. Oh shit.
Oh crap, my aim is no good.
Pink's on us. That's the barrel team, by the way. This is a barrel team. They're not in our scrim.
Okay. They're coming at us with the.
No mesh.
Okay.
Heavy dead.
One on you.
You're kidding!
Yo, are you stupid? Oh shit, I'm stupid.
Yo, nice.
Take that guy and dip, bro.
Oh my god. Shooting at the medium. Oh no.
They're all mine! I just Thanos'd them! So let's start with my team here. My heavy teammate, Doge, he already has a nuke set up. I wasn't able to get a nuke. Ideally, I would also have a nuke set up already. And the main reason why you want to set up a nuke as fast as possible is because you want to have your C4 on cooldown. So you're not wasting potential moments you could use your C4. So imagine if, like, right now I have 2 C4, but since it's not on cooldown, I'm not generating more C4 that I could use later. So it's always good to have your equipment on cooldown, if it makes sense, if you know what I mean. Since C4 is a thing you can like carry around and it stays in the world after using it, unlike Dome, you can't really move the Dome around, or you can't really carry the Dome around. It's more of a short-term thing. C4 is a good thing to keep on cooldown, and I wasn't able to find anything to put my nuke on. How I could have played this better was actually hitting my shots. No, I'm just kidding. Even if I did hit some shots, I would have been good, but even if I didn't hit any shots, I could have played this better by throwing my dome towards my teammates since I was in the back after shooting a mag. And that would have been an effective use of my gadgets, and you want to use as much gadgets as possible to help you win this fight. And since I didn't throw the dome, I just immediately went to setting up a nuke I just happened to find. And I thought this was the best play because I'm able to provide more damage than I could with just shooting my gun alone. So after I used this nuke, and I'm able to do a lot of damage, it was a pretty good nuke, I used my RPG instantly to get a kill. Admittedly, I should have used my RPG on the person that was a little bit more HP than the guy I used it on. And that would have saved me some bullets with the Lewis gun. But it's not really a big deal because I'm still able to melt down that person without even using more than half of my mag. And just keep in mind, like, all the damage you do is worth, even if you do use your RPG on like a person that's at 1 HP, it's always going to be worth, because if you put the enemy out of commission, they won't be able to do damage to you, and in the long term, your teammates will have more health, and they'll be able to do more damage to the enemy team. So as long as you're taking an enemy out of the picture, you're always doing a good job in a fight. Even if you're wasting effective damage, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you look at what my teammates do during this fight, and you can look at their POV here. My heavy, he goes in, and I don't think he uses his dome this fight, but he should have used his dome after using his nuke, especially since he's playing the shotgun. He can get closer while throwing his dome. But instead, it seems like here he just pushes up after throwing his nuke and then RPGs himself into the enemy's dome, which is not very great, but he is trying, and he does eventually go down. And my silver teammate, Kevin, he's sort of just following my teammate, Doge. And ideally, in this situation, I feel like the medium should always start off by shooting their mag first and then switching to heal before the damage starts coming in for your teammates. And I'm not sure if he does this here, but the only thing we can see here is that after my teammate dies, he instantly tries to go for the res, which is a little bit questionable since all three of the enemies are all three of the enemies can see him trying to do this, and it is more than likely that he will die in this encounter. So what should the medium be doing in this situation? Well, if you look at it this way, if you revive a teammate, your team is gaining around 140 HP, because that's how much health your teammate is revived with. But on the downside, you have to take out your defibrillator, and that means you're not doing damage, and you're going to be taking damage from the enemies while you're doing that. And not to mention, when you revive your teammate has to reorient themselves back into the game. And considering that they might have already shot some bullets, they might have to reload and stuff like that. There's just a lot of time wasted when you're trying to revive in the middle of a fight, rather than trying to find a more safe place to revive. And the reason why mediums have defibrillator is so they can revive faster than normal. And while it's good for getting a person back in the fight very quickly, it's not good for getting them into the fight while you're fighting. It's good for the very short breaks in fights that you might have. So in this situation, I feel like Kevin, our silver player, should have just stuck to just shooting his gun and just trying to stay away from the shotgun heavy as much as possible, and try and pick down one of the other mediums, which would have been good, because that would have been one defibrillator down for them instead of us. So let's look at the enemy's perspective here and see what things they could have done better and stuff like that. The first thing I want to know is, like, Lamp is Cute, the heavy, is using C4s, which is it's a little bit weird. C4 is a defensive gadget if you're not using nukes. And since they're bound by this KR rule that you can't use nukes, C4 is sort of a weird pick here, because you can only use it in a limited amount of ways. And considering that they're attacking a vault here, it's really not going to be used here, or there's not really a good way to use it, because it takes time to place the C4, and also takes time for the C4 to arm. So it makes it a very hard to use during a fight. If we consider like what other gadgets he could use, there's not a very big pool. So I don't really blame him for using the C4, but I just feel like it's not very useful, or he won't find much use for the C4 in this game. Especially if you're playing super aggressive and both your teammates are playing long range weapons, you're probably never going to find really much use for the C4. And the gadgets I would recommend replacing it with would probably be Barricade or probably Gas Grenade, because at least you will maybe find some use for those in a fight, whereas the C4 might be a little bit difficult to set up for a fight. But of course, you can also do the RPG with C4 combo, which does also take some prep time, but it's still very good for bursting down enemies. Right when the fight starts, Lamp is Cute, he pulls out his mesh shield, which is very smart. He avoids that initial damage that comes in from Kevin, I think, which is very great. He already blocked like 90% of his mesh shield. He blocked a nuke, and he blocked a whole mag from Kevin, which is very great. He blocked a whole bunch of damage, and then immediately switches to the dome shield because he knows his mesh shield is very low. There's no use in trying to keep using the mesh shield because it will just break. And the mesh shield does block the RPG. Everything's going well for Lamp is Cute here. When he kills the heavy, he starts trying to shoot at Kevin. And I would say to use the C4 RPG combo, but like the only enemies he can see here are just in his face. So I don't really see a very good opportunity to use the C4 RPG combo because that's more of a mid-range sort of weapon. You don't want to be hurting yourself, especially since explosives do more damage to yourself than it does to the enemy. But if we look at Normalized's POV here, he starts the fight off with his nades out, which is always a good thing because you always want to start with your nades instead, because you can do a lot more damage with your nades rather than shooting, and you always want to keep the nades on cooldown. Especially if you use it at the start of the fight, you might be able to regenerate a nade later in the fight. So he uses his nades, but he doesn't really find much damage with them. I feel like he should have thrown them a little bit against the wall towards the building, like towards the skyscraper, which would have been a lot better because that's usually where we would be coming in from the bridge. The one thing about his loadout that I just do not like that much is I hate running heal medium with the F car, mainly because it creates awkward moments. And what I mean by that is, like, since the F car only has 20 bullets, once you shoot, you kind of have to reload. And if you have to reload, you're not doing damage and you're not healing. So what I like about the AKM is that you have a lot of ammo, and the AKM per mag does more damage than the FCAR. So not only are you going to be doing more damage per magazine, you also have more bullets, so like you don't have to commit to shooting all your bullets. You can shoot some bullets, and when your teammates need healing, you can heal them, which is great. So you're not forced into this awkward moment where like you won't be able to do damage, or you can't switch back to your weapon because you would have to reload. You can just choose between shooting or healing instead of that third option of having to reload. I like what Normalize is doing here. He's healing when he notices the danger on Lamp. But the problem is he starts shooting after healing a little bit, and he just shoots into the smoke, which is like probably one of the worst ways to use the FCAR. Especially since you don't have that much bullets. Why are you wasting bullets into a smoke? Like, you can't even see the enemy. Why are you shooting? I don't think it really impacted that too much. He could have healed a little more on Lamp, but I don't think that would have saved him anyways because Lamp was already full HP, but then he just got bursted down to 1 HP and just instantly dies to my RPG. No amount of healing can save you from that. And he just killed Kevin, which is good. He's able to take out the medium that provides all the healing for my team, but it doesn't really matter since
They're all mine! I just Thanos'd them!
I don't see many mistakes here for the purple team here. I think the main thing they should focus on is like hitting their explosives first in the fight. Lamp didn't really ever get a chance to use his RPG. And if he used it at the beginning of the fight, that would have been great. You could have maybe shot one of the nukes and blown up one of us instead. Or you could have just done an easy 140 damage to any of us and maybe even gotten AoE damage, which would have been great. And also a thing you also want on cooldown at the beginning of the fight. And if Normalize had hit some nades, he also could have exploded a nuke or something like that. And I'm not sure what Snake Nade has in his inventory or whatever, but it seemed like he was doing healing when he needed to. And the biggest difference in this fight between our teams was the gadget usage, I feel like. And what I mean by that is like, I felt like my team used a lot more of their gadgets than purple team did. And Lamp never got to use his C4, never got to use his RPG. But my teammate Heavy, Doge, he used his RPG, he used his C4. The only thing he didn't use was his dome shield. On the other hand, I used all my utility. I used my nuke, I used my RPG, or I also didn't use my dome shield, but we don't talk about that. Even though we didn't use like our defensive utility, we got all of our damage in. Even though Doge didn't get damage on his thing, he did the damage to the shields. His RPG broke the dome almost instantly. His nuke brought down the mesh shield to very low HP. And all of these things contributed to my damage that I was able to do later in the fight. And that's the biggest thing is like, if you can make use of all the things you have, you can definitely increase your chances of winning the fight. And in the case of Normalize, even though he used all the gadgets that he could, he didn't get any damage on his nade, which just made it basically like you didn't use the gadget. Because if you didn't do damage with it, or you didn't get information, or anything like that, it's basically like the gadget wasn't there. And even though Lamp was able to make very effective use of his defensive gadgets, he never got to use his offensive gadgets. And the best defense is offense. If you can kill the enemy before they kill you, you won't need to use your defense. But since Lamp never got his offensive gadgets out, or even do damage with them, he was at a very disadvantageous position because he could never get enough damage out to carry his whole team.
I just Thanos'd it! I hit that guy for 120! What do you mean?
Oh,
How did I get fire? I'm on fire too now for you.
Alright. Using cans again. This is gonna be so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. That Ikazo guy's the only one that can shoot. Or barrel.
Guys, I'm kind of fucking hungry. I think a bowl of cereal is in my future here.
With poor visibility and wet conditions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Orange is behind the building.
Yeah.
Where they're padding up.
Team up top
I
right.
know it sucks, but
Wait, actually one's alone up top.
complain to Embark. Like, give us good custom lobbies so we don't have to deal with that.
Other two are lower.
Ooh, yummy stuff. I love one up with a grenade though.
Pushing
They're
the
running
left.
around to the left here.
Yeah, they're all sitting up, pushing right again. Then one need, one's literal low. Shield it.
Not like the mesh shield. I'm start using it. I'm low. I'm super low. I gotta wait.
I'm up on the roof. I'm gonna beam.
Oh, I got him low. I gotta jump in. They're gonna drop down. They're gonna drop down. Should have brought me down instead of.
There's a medium. They're taking height.
No, gonna fall off.
Nice. There's another one on the stairs.
I'm going to put this in, guys. I'm gonna put this in.
Yeah, we got these guys. Stairs.
2v1, 2v1 versus the medium.
Oh man.
The retros are getting us started with some good old-fashioned fun. First cash out underway.
What?
He's just running. Fuck it. We're going back.
Alright, so in this fight, we have Jermo's team, which is the red team, going against the orange team, which has Sneaky Pleb and Apo. The red team having double recon and 1 mesh shield, and the orange team having a recon and heal and mesh. And if we start off with Jermo's team, he starts out with a jump pad onto the little slant onto the big bridge, which is very nice. The only thing here if it was possible, if he had gone onto the zip line, that would have been the best case scenario. But unluckily, his jump pad did not reach the zip line, but somehow his heavy was able to get onto the zip line, which is also good because he's able to touch the vault first, which gives him that free $1,000. And if I was them, I would have used the jump pad just on the normal flat surface, just so you can get high enough to touch the zip line, instead of just using the jump pad to get farther across the bridge, because it's better to arrive as a team rather than being very separated. If everyone could get on the zip line, then everyone would be basically together, and then you guys can actually start a fight. And it's always good to start a fight together, especially when you don't have sustain or heal. You really just want the fight to end quickly. And a good way to do that is staying together and doing a bunch of damage with the shield you have. Of course, using the jump pad on the slant is very great if there's no zip line going across the buildings, but there was, so you obviously want to take advantage of that zip line. Of course, the heavy is there by himself, so he makes the right decision to back up, but he did take some damage, and since they don't have any heals, it's kind of bad. But they all regroup now, and they're all just taking their time in the building. And the problem with this is, like, their team composition isn't built to sustain. They don't have any heals, so every damage they take is going to last a while. You either take the fight early or just keep falling back until you have a good position to do damage rather than take damage. But here they start to get very discombobulated. They're getting very separated here. It seems like the heavies is retreating further back while the mediums are more on the front line now, which isn't very great. Humbled 2K is on the roof now, and Jermo is trying to help him. And he's eventually able to regen on his health, but like the problem is the heavy is nowhere to be seen, and he has the mesh shield. He's supposed to be on the front line, but of course he's not there. And then Jermo goes for a revive on his teammate that died on the roof. And I think this is a very bad revive selection. 90% of the time you want to use defib after you grab your teammate's totem and bring him to a better position. That's just way better than defibbing him right where he died, because you have that better position and you allow that teammate to regain consciousness. So if you revive them just on a death spot, the enemy already knows where your teammate died, and you just reviving them on the same death spot just doesn't really make any sense, because the enemy already knows that location, right? If you bring your teammate's totem, the enemies are more unsure on whether to push or not, because they're not really sure what type of fight they're getting into if they push towards the body. Of course, he instantly dies because like the enemies are just watching the body like they're supposed to. And then the heavy finally gets back into battle, but he's unable to do anything because his whole team is dead, so he just sort of ends up dying with them. And this fight doesn't really end because Jermo never dies, and he just like runs away. And is that the best decision here? I mean, it's sort of debatable, because you do have $1,200, and if you die, you would lose about $400, which isn't too bad of a deal. But if you die, you also have to spend 30 seconds on the death screen, and then you have to spend some time moving towards the cash out side. I do think staying alive is the play here, because you can get your teammates up a lot quicker than the team wipe revive time. And I also think it's the best because like while you're reviving and stuff like that, you can hear for information around the map. Like if you hear fighting at this cash out, you know there's two teams fighting there, and that means one cash out is by himself. That might be a better fight for you and stuff like that. The more you are alive, the more information you can gather, but also when you're team wiped, you can also look around the map for that information also. So it's like really debatable, but I think staying alive is better because you can hear information that's more relevant to you. So like if the enemies are closer, you can make decisions closer to that area. While when you're team wiped, you're not sure where you're going to spawn. It's very unknown what information is going to be very important to you because you're not sure where you're going to spawn depending on where the cash outs are and stuff like that. But there's also the added risk of the enemy staying behind to guard the bodies to make sure you wipe. But I think it's very unlikely because there's no use in wiping a team that has no money. So if Orange team had decided to stay behind and guard those 2 bodies, they would be guarding it for like little to no reason and leaving Apo by himself on the cash out defending it, when another team could easily just go there and kill him in a 3v1. So I think it's way better to just leave the bodies and just don't go for the wipe. There's very little benefit to it. Alright, so now let's look at Sneaky Pleb's POV. And they spawn at the apartments, and he uses his jump pad a little bit weird here, I feel like, because he waits till he gets really close to the building and then use the jump pad, when he could have just used the jump pad on the bridge, which would have been a lot faster, and his teammates would have gone there a lot faster also. I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but I guess it did give him a like more further back position on the roof, so he doesn't like expose himself too much in case of a fight. And so the fight happens on this roof, and since he has recon, he's just giving like comms, which is really good. And what's interesting that happens here is like he grabs his goo barrel and tries to go off that door, but then the RPG from the enemy heavy, I'm pretty sure what happened was the RPG hit the goo barrel midair, which created the goo. The RPG didn't do any damage to the enemy heavy, even though it was like point blank. And I suspect it's because the goo sort of insulated it. Weird occurrence there. That was good work in making them waste the RPG. Yeah, he's just staying back, just making sure he's playing the long range distance here. But what's weird is like they aren't really playing together with the heavy either. They're just playing like a pick and run. Apo gets the vault and just dips, while these guys are more intent on trying to kill the enemies. It's like they're playing without a healer because it feels like soft aim is not really healing at all. He only starts healing when he's 1 HP, and Sneaky Pleb doesn't really need healing. But I feel like he could have used the healing a lot more on the battle on the roof because there's a lot of people low and just not really much fighting at all happening. So they try to hunt down the last person, and I mean, they tried, I guess, and then they just dipped after a while because they realized like Apo is by himself on site. I mean, they didn't play this very well either, but like it just sort of felt like the other team was playing a lot worse. But he's making good use of his utility. He's using his recon to predict where the nades should go. I wouldn't say this is particularly impressive teamwork. Him and Soft Aim are sort of just like going back and forth. He's dodging out of trouble when he needs to and letting Soft Aim take over. Soft Aim should be playing a lot more further back and just healing the damage dealer and then doing damage when he needs to. Instead, he's sort of like just alternating frontline with Sneaky Pleb. Ideally, you would want Sneaky Pleb to be the frontline most of the time so that health can be re-healed.
Zip us up, bro.
Yes, sir. What the fuck is this?
Oh
my god. Oh my god. Why'd I even wait for the zip, man?
This dude's on his first day on the job or something.
For real.
Yes, sir. That's me.
What are we doing now, Jeff?
What?
What are we doing now?
The 3 of us are playing the finals.
Don't distract us, She. We're in a stacked ass lobby.
Yeah, on a cash out actually. Shoot me a Cazo.
Oh, you're
I'm playing a below inside room.
Okay.
I just dropped the cash out to clear all their utility off of it.
Ideally, I would have covered the entire cash out with goo, and that would have been the best case scenario. But since Kevin doesn't know how to play the game, we got there kind of slow. And if I had a little bit extra time, I could have covered the entire cash out, which would have made it harder for the enemy team to get rid of our utility on the cash out. Notice how Lamp is cute. Was able to get a C4 through the top of the cash out and destroy all of our utility. But I'm not really sure why he uses a C4 to do this. It just seems like to me Lamp is cute does not really know how to use C4. If that was me, I would have just shot the utility on the cash out rather than wasting a C4 on it. But yeah, so I get shot here and my teammate calls out where he's playing, so I move towards that location. He was playing under the cash out in a side room, and this is usually a good idea because we have utility to bring the cash out down if we need to. And playing in a side room makes sure we're not playing right on the cash out where the enemies are more likely to be able to shoot us. Oh, I got dropped again. Maybe we should drop? Nah.
There's a nuke for you. Oh my god!
He was zipping to the roof. He was zipping to the roof. Kevin, stay alive and just heal!
Go for it. I wait for them to kill each other. They haven't killed nobody yet. Purple's up there. Purple's all the way at the top.
Oh, purple's over there.
Louis killed one. Louis, you're my turn. If you're talk.
I need healing. I need healing.
All right, stay
I
alive.
got you, I got you.
Oh! How did I get RPG'd through a wall, bro?
What the fuck?
Yo! Fight with me! He's one in there!
I'll fight with you. I'll fight it with Louis. You fight with us.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of mistakes here from my team, and I don't know. The cash out dropped one more floor than we anticipated, so I made a suggestion to go to a lower floor, which is something we probably should have done just to stay near the cash out and keep playing for the objective. And another mistake we did is getting spotted by the enemy team, and I should have just thrown my nuke at them while they're on the zip line. It would have been an easy shot, but I don't know. I decided not to for some reason. And then like I guess Kevin got the wrong idea that we were fighting or something. He just tried to take a fight against 3 of them on the zip line, and then he got very low HP, which made it a very bad fight for us later. I think we were mainly scared of that team that was above us before, so we didn't really want to move too much. We wanted to make sure we had a good defensive position. Jermo's team here, they went to the high ground. I mean, that's good for them. They have a bunch of ranged. They're not doing anything super special. They're just kind of playing solo. There's not really much teamwork happening. Like the heavy just goes in by himself, and Jermo just sort of just backs him up whenever he can. It was a good fight for them because they knew exactly where we were, and we couldn't really counter what they were doing to us.
Do we want to work the stairwell, or maybe we go for moving structure? I don't know. We have option.
Yeah.
On the structure.
You hit anything with that? Your shield is broken or low. Oh no. Okay.
I got 5 HP left in this.
We might have to hop off. I'm hopping off. Looking for it. What? It just threw it. It auto threw it. I don't know why I did that.
I can grab it.
Dropped. Okay.
You got the res off. The retros will need to try again. We're almost in a good position.
1 HP. Nice. Both trophies on my body.
Yeah, there's one orange guy left. He's first floor mall right now.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I'm just dead, and I'm getting shot from both angles. And I give you the farthest spawn.
They've been reduced to 1 member now.
Nice. Deleted.
They coined though, right?
Yes, a medium dead.
Yeah, let's get out.
Alright, so we have a Sneaky Plebs team on Cashout A. Cashout A is a moving platform. The problem with defending most moving platforms in this game is that like the best position always changes depending on where the platform is. My main issue with how Sneaky Plebs team plays this is like they're playing on the platform, which is very hard to do unless you have the right utility. I recommend bringing barricades, APS, all those types of defensive things if you want to play on the platform. But when we're playing on sole moving platforms, the idea is that you want to play off the platform when there's huge buildings over the platform. So like when we're moving past this mall, I think the best play here is always to go on top of the building, because then you have the high ground and you always can see the moving platform as it's going around the mall. And then you can also figure out where the enemies are coming from, and you might be able to corner them because of that ability to know where they are. Sneaky Plebs team is just taking heavy fire here, and they try to get into the mall, but they just take too many losses from staying on the platform, and then they just get jumped on by Lamp is Cute's team. Lamp is Cute team is smart. They make sure they do a lot of damage to them, and then they try to follow up by getting really close, trying to find out where the enemies are, and then keep doing that damage before they can regenerate, which is very nice. And notice how when they steal the cash out, they immediately go off of the moving platform. They don't want to force themselves in a bad position, because if they have to start a fight on the moving platform, they know it's going to be hard for them. So they immediately go to another position where they can watch the cash out and try to minimize the risk as much as possible.
Well, we gotta try A, I guess.
I guess that's a no on that one, huh?
They're above us.
Under.
Go! Down there!
Kevin low.
Cashout A!
Get up, Jeff! Wake up!
Nading again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wake up. Bruh.
What a way to open the match. The Steamrollers
I'm gonna clear that one.
You might as well just go jump off the building. Well played.
So my team spawns for Cashout A near Billboard Building. We're faced with the decision to go B or A. I mean, obviously here, like anyone would just choose A because it's closer. Imagine if B had more time. I feel like B might be a better choice if we could get past A without dying, but it's really debatable. You don't want to go to a site where you know you won't have enough time, and B seems like if we just move towards B, we wouldn't have any time to really set up or scout out the enemy location, while A is like sort of like our only chance at getting one of these cash outs, so that is the cash out that we decided to go on. And because Lampus Cute's team had such a great position on us, there wasn't really much of a way for us to win this. By the time we knew they were up there, I mean, our team was basically demolished. Kevin was able to get a defib revive on Doge, but that didn't really matter because they were stuck on the moving platform where they just kept getting shot. I went in the building and I don't know, just try to see what I could do on the roof. I eventually get killed by the team that was holding B site.
Where did the other pink go? There was a third.
Billboard.
Up here, up here.
Yeah, no mesh, no mesh, no mesh, no mesh.
Okay. Red's helping them too.
You want to just one team on us?
Yeah.
All to the right, fighting the other teams.
Fuck, I didn't get it.
Other side. They're all right there.
There's a kid in front of me.
They're all purple on my body. They're double kill.
Four hospital would be super dope.
Yeah, well.
I think they're gonna let that orange guy coin. Let's start walking that way. All the teams should be over at Billboard.
Alright, so if you've been paying attention, you might be wondering why Orange Team or Sneaky Plebs team is even like close to the moving platform cash out. And the truth is that they didn't actually wipe in that fight near the mall when they originally had the moving platform. One of their team members coined at the last second. And if you don't know about this, like if you coin right when the last member of your team dies, you will spawn the furthest away from all the other players. So he spawned at the hospital where nobody was. Like if your teammate's about to die in that situation and you already have no money, I wouldn't waste a coin on something like that. Even if you spawn close at mall, it feels like you're committing too much. You're wasting coins and you're going to be in a 1vx situation, and you also have to force your teammates to coin also if you're just going to try and hide it out and let your teammates spawn instead. And it's not even guaranteed that they will spawn near you, because if there are people nearby, they might spawn super far away from you also. If they did wipe at that fight at the moving platform, they probably would have spawned near B or A, so it would have been probably quicker than having to walk all the way from hospital to get back into the fight. So that's why Orange is in this position. And Olympus Cute's team, they have already guaranteed their A cash out, so if Orange team had gotten there earlier, they might have had a chance at actually taking A. But Orange team or Sneaky Plebs team is in a weird position here because they had two people on the Cashout A, and then Sneaky Plebs off by himself onto the side. And you can see here that they like jump pad in opposite directions. So like his team is just getting split non-stop. And Lampus Cute's team is like super coordinated. They push together. They're making calls to go to this jump pad. Let's move over here. And I like this a lot. But yeah, Sneaky Pleb gets killed by Purple Team, and his other teammate gets killed by the Purple Team also. And then the last teammate gets killed by Red Team.
I'm kind of hungry now, you know?
Me too, bro.
Can you cook for me?
Yeah, I got you with some chicken nuggets.
Nuggies? Are they dino nuggies?
No.
Oh.
Guys, I am so fucking hungry. It's like a hunger pain territory.
Two teams fighting on 3. Another team is near 3.
Let's just go 4,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3 is gonna make it to hospital before us.
Also, it's overkill because 2 C4s is enough to one-shot Eddie. Don't need more.
Alright. I don't know what's
I
going
killed
on.
one. Two purple on me.
5.
I got Steve. Under here. Under here. Where's Kevin? It's Kevin. Kevin on the stairs behind here.
Oh.
He's one shot on me, heavy.
Halftime. Don't touch that dial. Things can change pretty quickly around here.
It's they're all up by the way. Heavy, medium, medium.
I think he's... Okay, they got the lowest heavy up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right above us.
You climb?
I can pass.
No, he didn't. He
He
didn't.
used the shotgun heavy. Res the shotgun heavy.
Okay, okay.
What is that sound?
Probably Steve nuke.
Heavy killed himself with a nuke. Nice. We'll have to take this shit D.
Purple team, they decide to go for the vaults, and my team also decides to go for the same vaults. But if I was purple team here, I would rather just stay at the hospital and then just wait for a vault to come to me, because that hospital spot is such a easily defendable position. And if you're able to get a vault and defend that spot, you're guaranteed to qualify to the next round, especially since your team already has 10k. Instead, they decide to go to the vault and they take an unnecessary fight with my team. They win it, but like if we're talking the best plays here, like the best play would definitely be to defend that hospital, because that is a desirable defense position. And if you're there first, you have the advantage because you're able to see when enemies are coming towards you, and you can surprise attack them if they even try to get to your cash out. So we start out this fight at one of the hallways in this apartment complex. And I get my nuke off, I do some decent damage, get my dome down, but then I just keep shooting when I should have used my RPG at some point here, probably when I had my dome up. And I'm also sort of separated from my team, which is not very good. We weren't really expecting them to come at us so quickly. But yeah, I think if we were a little bit more coordinated there, we definitely had a better chance at winning this fight. Purple team did a pretty good job just staying together. They did a pretty good job of just focus the healing on the heavy, let him do the damage. In comparison to the fight we had at the beginning of the game, this is a lot better.
What the fuck is going? What the fuck is going? Wait, there was one behind. You killed yourself with the nuke again, Jeff?
I don't know how that hit me, bro. Like, I threw it at him. It like bounced off his shield or some shit.
But now he switched to himself.
Can we not do D? Like, is it possible? Can we go C?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go.
Yeah, Purple's leaving C. C is free. C is free.
Oh shit.
Actually, we just fight him.
Run, humble.
Yeah, they know.
Two were lower by the wall.
I might die though.
Yeah, I'm coming. No, we're good.
Yo,
Yo, that was a nasty ass juke though. That's all I know.
To break it.
I broke his ankles, bro.
Watch out,
Oh, there goes C. Take the zip. You're going to see.
Other two are lower, they're pushing him now. One pushing up to the right now. Back up a little bit.
I'm back. They gave me a bad spawn though.
Give me.
Yeah, one's first floor.
Yes, you have a rocket? They're coming upstairs. To left.
Wait, I can break this down.
Nice.
One up on the helipad. Got the heavy up, I killed him.
Right in front of me. There's two on
Fuck,
you.
man.
There's two there.
Humble, you should have came to the roof with us. Why are you down there, man?
So here we have the orange team versus the red team again, and I swear these scrim teams just don't understand that if you want the hospital, you have to defend the hospital. All these teams keep talking about how they like C as a cash out spot, but they never go there to defend it. They always want to bring the vault into the cash out, rather than just staying at the cash out and waiting for another team to bring the vault to them. Even in this soon-to-be fight between orange and red, red could have just tapped the vault and then just gone straight to the cash out site instead of bringing it in. Orange could have just stayed on C the entire time because they literally spawned at the cash out C, but instead they decided to go on Big Bridge and move towards a vault. All these teams are so obsessed with getting a vault and putting it into a cash out rather than just positioning themselves to win a fight. Let's start with the red team. So they have the vault and they're going towards the hospital, and they meet up with the orange team at the inner hospital, and they don't really fight. No team wants to fight here. They just see each other, shoot some bullets, but like no one ever initiates. And so they just go onto the small bridge and they just head towards the site, and they're able to get it in, but they're super split up. The problem with how red plays here is like one of them splits up to put the vault into the cash out, and then the other people are just trying to break the bridge. Even though they know there's another team near them, they should know that they don't have time to break the bridge. They should be focused on trying to wipe the team that's near them, so they have that time to set up later. But instead, they're just so focused on breaking small bridge and like trying to defend the cash out, they kind of forget about that team that was on them. And then Humble 2K dies 1v2 or whatever. This is a 2v3 situation for the red team, and they're not on site, and they lose the site. And so now they decide to just wait for their teammate to coin, and they decide to reposition to the roof. And this doesn't really work out for them because their teammate respawns and he is not very close to them at all. And if I was red in this situation, like right when my teammate dies and we lose the cash out, I would just immediately try and go to like the bottom floor or the second floor or whatever floor that's below the cash out and start setting up from there. And when your teammate comes back, you guys can group up and take the cash out back together. You can blow the cash out down, dome, whatever. You have recon, you can coordinate. But I think going to the roof is a little bit of a weird play because like what are you going to do if you have the roof? I just don't see the reason why. And your teammate is most likely not going to spawn on the roof with you. Most of the spawns on this map are near the bottom floor. So I just a little confused on why they decided to go to the top floor. Because like there's no hole that goes into the site. Still have to go down through stairs. Orange on the other side, they spawn at hospital, they move towards Big Bridge, and so they know that a team is bringing a vault near them, and then they seem to want to meet them at the inner hospital, and they get in a little scuffle, and they don't really do much. They see that the vault is moving towards the cash out through Small Bridge, and they use this information to get there quickly using the zip line that connects inner hospital and outer hospital. And that's the main advantage that I'm trying to push here, is that like if you're carrying the vault to a cash out, everyone on the map can see you because everyone can see the vault moving around the map. And this is why defending a cash out is so much better than trying to get a vault into the cash out, because you have the element of surprise. Enemies don't know where you are. They don't know where you could be. And so they're able to isolate a one because of this information they have. And they just mainly stay together here, which eventually just lets them win the fight, because they have people that they can rely on. They're all doing damage together. And now they have control of the best spot to defend on this map. And they have a 15k cash out, which is very good, considering that there might not be another cash out this game.
They're throwing these at us. Oh, they're on the thing.
Yeah. Kill two, kill two.
Right here. Barrel. Hold med, hold med. Oh, no. Get our boy up.
Getting back platform.
Okay. They res one. There's a team behind us, pink.
They res so quick.
Wait, they already have all three of them alive.
The back platform, all you land, go clear this.
I'm playing a little behind.
Dead.
Nice.
So at this point, Purple has had some free time on this moving platform cash out because those other two teams were fighting at the other cash out for a very long time, and my team was still respawning. So we're trying to attack this moving platform before it leaves this apartment complex area, but it's already pretty much a little bit too late. I was able to throw my nuke and able to get 2 kills with it. Purple team, they're super fast with it and they revive very quickly. And they know they can revive here because like there is no pressure from us because we're not very close to them. So we would have to be like super aim gods to be able to stop this revive. So they just get those 2 revives for free and they just shoot us at range, which is pretty easy for them, especially when they're heavies playing super defensively with their mesh shield. Purple team just played that very nicely as a team. We probably should have waited near the mall or just try and bide our time a little more. Maybe go in at the last second. Rushing a fight's always never very good.
Yeah, they're distracting each other. Nope, wrong team. I'm dead. He's low though on my body.
Got one, got one.
Wait, no. That's, we're giving this team.
I think we pad up now, by the way. I'm gonna grab his trophy.
Pad right. Pad under you. Can we get up on the level? Yeah.
Red's almost on it.
I'm holding. I'm holding.
Cashout complete.
Is it about to be on it?
Nope, 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 nope. On this platform, left platform.
Send me the reds.
Oh. Well, I was holding. Okay, okay.
Just wait for it to
Blue
go
your
across.
shield? I fell off,
Give me
bro.
a
The
shield,
shit
give me a
turned.
shield.
He doesn't have bubble.
Oh. Well, I was holding. Okay.
We're good. Let's go.
Good job. Good job.
The heavy killed me in alley, but yeah, they don't get the catch out.
Yeah, and also another reason why our fight didn't really work is because we got sandwiched by red team, and as you can see here, they came in behind us, killed my heavy doge, and they sort of did the same thing we did, just like chasing the moving platform rather than like going in front of the moving platform, trying to establish a good point of attack. But Purple also plays this super well. As the platform gets near the mall, it's clear that they communicate that they want to go into the mall and hold the platform from there. So they quickly coordinate that. They all jump pad up towards the mall and they start beaming. And red team can't really do anything about this. They only have a mesh shield player and like they're not really playing with the mesh shield. They're just sort of running around the platform trying to get to the cash out. And they kind of have no other choice, to be honest, because like the cash out's about to be over. And they actually almost get it here. And luckily, Lampus Q is able to get an RPG off. But if he hadn't gotten that RPG off, I'm pretty sure Red could have gotten that cash out. So it's pretty lucky for them. And if I was Purple here, after getting that cash out, I would probably play super safe, trying not to wipe. But instead, they sort of just play super dangerously, trying to fight this heavy. But luckily, the heavy isn't able to win. They're able to keep their 31,000.
Are we just chilling here?
Orange is up here. That guy's definitely using nukes, is he not?
What do you mean by scrim lobby? Like, are they not using nukes? Like, is it like a gentleman's
Team on
agreement?
it. Team on it. Half. Both half. Orange.
Yes, everywhere.
Oh, I died at the back of the train.
Alright, go for it. Before they leave with the pad. I might die here though. They defib.
I got 15 seconds.
Bro, get out!
I'm trying to go res him!
They'll be in need of a comeback now.
Where you at?
I'm coming, but
No, I got.
Why would you try to res me there, bro?
I didn't think 15 seconds was enough.
We have to fight B, by the way. We can't even go A.
So we have the vault and we put it into one of the moving platform cash outs. This is probably the cash out that we probably have the best advantage of out of every other team because we have goo to fortify the moving platforms so we can use it as barricades. And when the orange team starts to attack us, I mean, we keep control of the front train, but Doge unfortunately goes down, but April also goes down. So it's like a trade. And as the moving platform gets further away from this apartment complex, it becomes easier and easier to hold. But something unfortunate happens and I'm gooing up the platforms to make sure it's harder for the enemies to move. If you're able to get goo on the back platform, you can use the movement of the platform to like move the cash out so they can't be stolen, or you can like get enemies stuck inside the goo, which is what I was going for. But obviously my silver teammate, he sees me gooing and he decides, yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing. He just walks in front of me while I'm gooing, stopping our momentum, and then we just kind of fall into the void as the platforms move away from our feet. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's whatever. Orange is still up, and they are fighting the red team. And red team has just been doing the same things, just chasing the platform the whole game. And I think they need to just like give up on chasing and just like focus on like working a pick instead of like going straight for the cash out with a zip line and stuff like that. But orange team is able to take control of the cash out because of our blunders.
Nice.
whoever was there.
Alright, that might have been my bad.
All good. It's all good.
I thought I could go grab his body and just defib it real quick, man. And I got caught in the goo, man.
There's too many people around for that to even work, I think. Like,
Well, like, they were fighting red.
There's a whole team on the platform in front of you, and then there's another team shooting at us.
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure I saw one jump off to fight red again.
So that concludes my video, and I tried my best to keep the video under an hour. But I'm gonna be honest, like editing his video, especially towards the end, it felt like torture. And I don't really want to do another video like this. I think next time I'll probably just like choose like highlights or specific plays I want to talk about rather than doing like the entire match. And yeah. Also, Kachi Rivals, the Scrim organization, they recently changed their rules. So, I mean, if you want to go check them out, go check them out. I wish them the best in their endeavors, and hopefully custom games is something they can work with next season. But yeah, I appreciate you guys' support, and hopefully you learned something in this video. Please comment, like stuff, whatever, like, subscribe. Yeah. And I guess I'll see y'all in the next video.